Hey, what's up, everybody? The Amazing here, bringing you a review. This time is the Mafex 3.0 Batman: The Dark Knight. So let's get started. First and foremost, I want to start by saying Mafex actually did a pretty good job here. There are lots of gripes that I have, but we'll get into that as we go along. But let's get started. One of the things I want to point out is the QC issues. Now, considering this is Mafex, it is expected, at least on my end, and I did get a wobbly both arms. But it holds and poses, yes. But it is very, very has me concerned because, like with my Flash, my arm popped off and never recovered after that. So if I review it and it pops off, just know that that might be it for it. So anyway, I want to start with the head actually. You can actually get a great range of motion that he actually doesn't have in the movie. As you can see here, he can rotate his head very, very well. Well, not the spin around part, that's a cheat code. But as you can see here, you actually get a great range of motion as Batman. So that's pretty cool. The shoulder pads are actually attached in a way that they are connected to the arm, and it has a great range of motion that allows you to go out and down and around, and a little bit of swivel in the 360 motion here. The arms are also on a double joint. It bends two ways. It allows you to have maximum articulation and do really cool poses like this. Get your Batman on. What's really nice is that there is an upper torso swivel for left and right that has a great range without it actually scuffing up the chest piece, which I really like. And it has a lower twisting abdomen, so you can actually get a decent amount of ab crunch going forward. The suit actually blocks a lot of it, like it does in the movies, but it's still actually pretty good. Then you have the legs, which use the drop down method that SHF used to use and still uses on a few figures, as well as a thigh swivel, and it rotates on a double jointed leg, so it's pretty nice. Ankle pivot is pretty decent. It's not maximum amount, but it's pretty decent. It has toe articulation as well, so if you want to get some bat posing, you actually can get a decent amount to look good with Batman. One thing I want to point out is that the cape is easily better than the SHF one. It's really nice, but it is thinly wired, so you actually have a very thin and cheap looking cape. But if you want a nice flow of it, this one is definitely the one to have. It's actually pretty dope and it flows really well. I don't understand why all the capes aren't wired very well, but who knows? It comes and goes with them, right? One thing I want to point out with the cape is that you can see the lining of the seam here. I'm actually going to turn that, and as you can see it on both sides. So it's one of those things where even if you didn't see it or you were worried about it, you're going to see it on each side, so it doesn't matter. It's really nice to have it nicely posed and things like that. I like it. One thing I also want to point out is that it comes with a ton of accessories, and it is a larger figure than the SHF one. So let's get started on it. You have one of these weapons, and this weapon is usually used with the Bat Pod, the EMP gun. It's really nice. It is much larger in comparison to the SHF one, as you can see. See, the SHF one is in front, Mafex on the top. It is much larger. You also get this weapon here, which doesn't come folded. It always just comes out like this, and it is usable here. It's really cool. Next up, I want to point out the tiny little batarangs you get. You will get 3 of these, and you get an extra head, well, extra couple of heads actually. And one of them is the Christian Bale growling head, which we all know, love, and make fun of in memes. And this is probably my favorite one. You actually get this head that actually, with the lens down for scanning. I actually think this is a really dope Batman head, and I wish this head was actually used throughout the entire movie. I think it works a lot better as Batman and hides his face, and I wish it was used all the time. I actually like that they included this. Next up, we're going to go with the hand accessories. We have a set of hands for holding the gun. I believe it's this one. Nope. It's actually the EMP gun. So this set of hands is actually for holding strictly the EMP gun. Then you get another set of hands for holding this weapon, whose name I forgot for some apparent reason. So you have 2 sets of dedicated hands for holding each gun. You have a relaxed set of hands, or throwing hands, or whatever it is. These one you use hands for grappling people or things. You have hands for holding batarangs. Oh, actually, sorry. This hand is actually for being on the bat pod when you're holding the throttle. So if you still have your Mafex bat pod, you'll be okay. These hands are actually for holding the batarang. So see here, you can hold your batarang really easily. Real quick, I want to talk about the size comparison now that I've gone over the things that he comes with. I want to point out that the Mafex, though, oh, one thing I want to talk about, I forgot. You can actually remove the grapple gun on the side. It actually just plugs in on the side. That's one thing I actually don't like, is that you actually can't remove this piece. It is stuck there for good, so you have to remember that the grapple gun is there or the piece is going to be there, and try not to chop it off by making it fall on something or break. So just be aware and be careful of that. Real quick, I want to point out with Batman, let's change our focus here. Make Batman look a little cool while he stands up. Let's get you standing straight up. We're going to compare him to the SHF one, which I actually like in terms of the head sculpt and design, but the Mafex actually takes the cake on this one with the better cape, the more intricate design, and the darker flow of colors. So as you can see here, here's how they stack up with each other. Let's actually bring this down a notch. There we go. I don't know why it's so bright. I don't know what's going on. But as you can see here, they both look really nice. But the Mafex actually has a very nice look to it. It just somehow feels and looks better. The SHF has the better head sculpt in my opinion. It has the better tone of flesh and color. But Mafex actually knocked it out. I want to add to that it really sucks though that it took Mafex 3 tries to do it. But they did get it right here. They definitely got it right. One of the things I want to try out is I want to see how he actually looks and feels on the bat pod. And this is the SHF one, not the Mafex one. I just want to see how he works on it. So if you actually can rotate the knee pad pieces in, looks like he'll actually work and fit on this bat pod. I am just cruising it through and doing it really quickly. But for the most part, proportion-wise, he works pretty well here. So I'm pretty sure the hands for holding one of the weapons will work here just as well. As we move that over. Now we're comparing him to some other stuff. We go on with the size comparisons. I want to make sure he's standing properly. These wobbly arms, man, they worry me. They worry me very, very much. Don't give me that side-eye, Batman. Here he is next to a Marvel Legends claw. So as you can see, he scales with Legends easily. As far as SHF goes, here he is next to a Kamen Rider Laser Turbo. He's obviously bigger than them, so we already know where that stands. Here he is next to an Articulated Icons Ninja. Oop, drop the head sculpt on the side. And we're going to compare him to Synthetic Human Carb. Or should I call it just Synthetic Carb again? Next up, we have a Mezco. So we'll compare it to a Batman and a Batman. He actually really scales well with this as well. So hands down, we know what we're getting with Mafex. Like I said, the minor gripes I have really are with the arms and QC issues that feel flimsy, and the side piece with the grapple gun that you can't actually take it off. It's just all in there permanently. But I can get over that. But I cannot get over the QC issue thing. All in all, this is a great piece. But if you bought the previous Batmans, I know that you're doubtful and you're probably pissed off because you bought the first two and they were terrible compared to this one. But this one actually stacks up and does a really great job. So, hope you found this informative. Hope you enjoyed. In the meantime, guys, do good, be good, drink your water. Later.